Country Basement. This is kind of a special edition because we're on StreamYard today, and we have Gage from StreamYard to answer some of our questions and maybe go over some of the features real quick. He only has a couple of minutes here at the beginning of the stream, but this should be interesting. So welcome, Gage.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me on. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I'm excited to talk about StreamYard. For anyone that doesn't know what it is, it's the tool we're using right now to go live on YouTube, and you can also go live on Facebook or Periscope. And the whole idea is to just make it a super easy tool to go live without having to download anything.
Yeah, and so far, just the features that we have used, we've been using Google Hangouts for a long time, but it's been getting kind of challenging. But the features that we've used, we practiced with it a little bit earlier this week, but there's a lot of things about it that are way better than the Hangout setup for sure.
Yeah, and Hangouts is going away, unfortunately. I think they actually announced a date, right? Like August 1st. So it's coming right up. So I've used Hangouts a little bit, but it was a long time ago that I used it, so I'm not really sure the whole feature set Hangouts on Air has. But I think ours is pretty comparable. So like if you're going live to YouTube, chat comments will come right into the studio, and you can click them to show them on screen. You can share your screen, guests can share their screen, and there's a lot of functionality there. You can invite people really easily. Every time you create a StreamYard broadcast, you get an invite link, and that's how the four of us are in here. So yeah, I think if you're using Hangouts and are looking for an alternative now that it's going away, I think it'll be a pretty good fit for most people. Yeah.
Yeah, excellent. It's so far so good for us. Again, this is our first time. But is there any like roadmap items that you can talk about, like what's coming up and maybe some of the recent releases, like what's coming closer to the future than sooner than later?
Yeah, absolutely. So the three things we always talk about at StreamYard that are our priorities are ease of use, stability, and professional looking streams. So that's sort of the filter that we go through whenever we're adding features. But as far as the specific roadmap, more platforms. So right now there's Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, and Restream actually. So we're going to be adding more platforms. I can't tell you the specific platforms, but you'll see new platforms relatively soon. Some of the stuff that you guys already brought up, we were chatting a bit before about requests. Some of the things that you guys brought up are actually coming soon, like the ability for guests to see comments in addition to the host coming right into the studio. You will see that relatively shortly. And then our big focus is on shareability. So as far as like a sort of general description of the type of features people will most likely see is easier ways for you to share your stream out and for your guests to share the stream out and increase discoverability. That's sort of our priority right now.
Excellent. Excellent.
Nice.
Walter, you got some questions or points you want to bring up?
Well, I did, because I did a live stream this morning. Matter of fact, I was chatting, I guess it was with you this morning.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was chatting this morning, and shortly after that, before that, I did a live stream where I did the unboxing of this lightsaber. And
Nice.
The problem is that I was perfectly clear in my web view, but when I go back and watch the YouTube video, the video is crap, and there were sync issues really badly. Now, I'm assuming that you're taking in what you're displaying on the screen, so what I see should be what's on YouTube, but it wasn't. Is that an issue with YouTube, or what's going on?
Yeah, that's a good question. So the most important thing with our product to get good quality is your internet connection. And it's not just the speed of your internet connection, it's like the quality of the connection. So generally it's a good idea to avoid Wi-Fi and plug directly into the router. But the reason why it looks good on your screen is because that's before it gets sent out, right? So what we show you on your screen is what we're capturing from your webcam. So what you're capturing might look really good, but that has to go to our servers and then to YouTube. So if the connection isn't really good, packets, or it's just a fancy word for information, will be lost, and then the quality will be degraded. So you'll probably notice if you're watching the stream on YouTube that some of us probably look more clear than others, and that's a result of some of us having better internet than others.
So let me say this right now. I'm sorry, everybody. My streams are not going to get any better.
No, Walter's internet is 2 tin cans and a piece of string, and that piece of string is frayed.
I actually use a mobile hotspot as my internet. So I mean, sometimes I get great 5 to 8 megabits per second out, and sometimes I get 330 kilobits per second out. So, you know, it is.
Yeah, that
what
would be
it
the biggest factor. But you don't need too much. So like compared to like typical streaming, if you had like a fancy streaming setup, like that's going to be more demanding, because with StreamYard, we just grab the individual feeds, right? So the amount of information you're sending to StreamYard is less than you'd be sending if you had an involved stream that you were doing without a third-party service. So you don't actually need that great of internet. Like, it helps to have better internet. That'll avoid the degradation and the sync issues. But if you just do some simple stuff like be as close to the router as possible, or whatever the hotspot is as possible, make sure that no one's like watching Netflix at the same time. Like, just put your basically eliminate as many variables as you can that would decrease the quality of internet. I think you'll still get a pretty good experience.
And mine is I'm the only one that uses this because I'm in a camper in a pull behind camper is what my studio is. So I use this. My house has its own internet, which is DSL, which is just as crappy. But one of the other things, I had a question about a feature, because I don't know if you use the webcam API or what you use to send the video to YouTube.
Yeah.
But right now you have it so you can't host a video on a mobile device. Is that a YouTube restriction or is that a you restriction?
That's a me restriction. So it's a very simple reason. Like, I don't have an amazing reason for you. It's mostly just a design problem, right? Is getting all the controls onto a small screen is difficult. So guests can join on a mobile device. We just don't have hosting from a mobile device, but it is something we want to add. It's just,
and see, that's one thing I was asking. If you wanted to host individual streams instead of multi-guest streams, because like I go on trips or whatever, and I want to do a live stream on my other channel, which doesn't have 1,000 subscribers. Well, YouTube says you can't do that from a mobile phone now. So if I could use your interface to do it, they wouldn't really know it was a mobile phone, I wouldn't think. So that would help me out.
I think technically they're okay with that too. Like, I think the reason for that policy isn't like, we cannot have people that don't have 1,000 subscribers on mobile phones. I think it's mostly just to decrease the amount of random streams they're getting. So I think I'm familiar with their policy as far as what the rules are for us, and there's nothing in their policy that says we can't allow people to go live from phones. Okay. So it's our restriction.
And I understand why. I understood it as soon as it said you can't do this from a mobile device, because in order to host several people, you need quite a few controls. But if you had a way just to do an individual stream, I think that would help out a lot of people, and you would get a lot more people in, even if it was only available in the upgraded version, the paid version. You couldn't do it in the free version. I think that would be a cool thing, because I'd be willing to pay for that for any trips we go to Disney and I want to shoot live stream, of our thing to the channel. That would help me out tremendously. So I would pay for that. So
I'd like to take just a quick moment for those that have come in a little bit late and reintroduce Gage. Gage is from StreamYard, which is a software package that we're hoping will replace Hangouts, being that Hangouts is packing up and going away. So if you guys have any questions for Gage as well, that's all right. You can throw them in the chat and we'll try to pick those up.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Gage, how long have you guys been working on this software?
Not too long. So we started StreamYard, the company, almost a year ago, so July, but the site didn't go live until mid-October, and it looked drastically different back then. There was no banners, there were no overlay. It was like nothing. It was just a very basic version. And then, so since October, we've been adding features until, and now we're at where we are now. So yeah, technically about a year we've been working on this.
And did it come to be knowing that Hangouts was going away, or was this just something that you decided one day, hey, there needs to be a better way to do this?
Oh yeah, the Hangouts information is very new. Like, we're getting a lot of people from Hangouts, but a year ago, we had no idea that Hangouts was going to go away. The main reason why we built it, sorry, I've got motorcycles that come by all the time, if you guys can hear that. The main reason Dan and I built it is we had a lot of experience in university. We met each other in university. I'm one of the co-founders. Dan and I co-founded StreamYard, and we had a lot of experience making like meeting applications and VoIP applications. But we were always interested in streaming, mostly because, like, personally, I'm not super into gaming, but I was fascinated by the success that Twitch had, and how there was sort of this whole industry that popped up from live streaming video games. Like a video game commentator is now a career. Like there's a whole industry around it.
Right.
And I thought that could be possible for lots of other interests outside of video games, and that a major thing stopping it was that there weren't easy tools to sort of make shows and make high production quality shows, whereas gamers are more into tech, so they're comfortable with the OBS and getting that stuff set up. But if you just have some random interest, like say you're interested in fishing, you might not care about computers at all. So we wanted to make a tool that was super, super easy. Or if you didn't know anything about computers, you didn't know anything about tech, you could just hop on StreamYard and start your own show. So that was the main reason we decided to create it.
Awesome. So Google shutting down Hangouts was kind of a silent blessing to you guys.
Yeah, we've gotten a lot of users over the last few weeks because of it. Yeah, we had no idea.
Yeah, because I mean, I got to admit, I had never heard of you guys, and even when, and maybe this is something you should put in your back pocket, when I went looking for a solution, I didn't come across you.
Yeah.
So yeah.
SEO's tough, man. It's hard. It's
maybe
hard
some different keywords on the old website. Maybe because I was Google searching, maybe they've silenced you.
No, I think it's just hard to rank. We have a much bigger like YouTube is. We've always had a very small presence on YouTube. Most people using StreamYard until very recently were using it for Facebook Live. We're very popular as a Facebook live streaming option. And it was very recently after the Hangouts announcement that we started getting significantly more people from YouTube. And now it might actually be even. I think there might be like 50-50 audience of people using it for Facebook versus YouTube. And then Periscope's quite a bit smaller, but there are people that use it for Periscope. But yeah, we're still pretty small. So it's hard to find us if you're just Googling for Hangouts on Air alternative.
Well, I'm sure with them shutting Hangouts down, you're going to grow. You're going to grow tremendously. So, I mean, so far it seems to work pretty well. I like the 4-up, where I can see everybody at the same time. I know that Chris Riley hasn't fallen asleep yet.
Another quick question from me, and then I'll turn it back over to Chris. I know you got to go here shortly. Another thing that I heard, because I told you we had a roundtable last night and we were discussing StreamYard quite a bit on that, was multi-camera, because we noticed the other day when Chris and I were trying it out, if we used our OBS cam, that the audio was going, it looked like the audio was going directly, but the video was separate. And the offset of the video and the audio, even in this display window here, was massive when we were using OBS.
Yeah. So two answers. So multicam is requested a lot, and it's on the long list of things we want to add eventually. But I do agree, because it's really cool for lots of different types of streams. Like especially like for what you guys are doing, like maybe you want to have an angle of what you're working on versus your face. So I get it, and it's exactly. So yeah, I totally get it, and that is on the roadmap. As far as OBS and sync stuff, it's something you have to tune and play with. Like I know it's possible to fix. I'm not an expert at OBS, but there are people that use OBS in the virtual cam with StreamYard, and I know it's not an easy setup to get going, but I don't know what exactly you might have been running into, but it is something that you can tune and get it in sync, I think.
Okay. Well, I didn't know if you even looked at OBS for features, because that's probably the most widely used one that I know of for these type of streams. Yeah. And that, and what is it, XSplit, and then there's a Streamlabs OBS as well. Yeah. But they're all basically the same thing. And I mean, the multicam feature is probably the biggest one, and being able to move that camera. You know, like we were doing an overlay earlier, and it would be great to be able to add an image and then shrink it to fit, you know, because trying to do an overlay, see if it fits, and then it doesn't, and then, you know, back and forth. But I know you've got to go here shortly. I'm going to let Chris finish up. It's his stream. He ain't ask anything.
No, it's just really good to have you on. This is again, I think this tool is going to be definitely worthwhile. Talking about Streamlabs, though, have there been a request for direct Streamlab integration?
Surprisingly, no. Like I'm assuming there's going to be a lot more of that now, but our audience is very different than, like, most of our audience has never used XSplit or OBS. They're used to like just browser-based options. So it's a new audience from Hangouts that is coming on. So now we're getting more requests about like, oh, how can I integrate like my donation plugin or this plugin into StreamYard? So now that stuff is coming up, but prior to the the announcement that Hangouts was going on away, that stuff was not coming up as much. But yeah, I don't know if we would. I've got to think about what integrations we would actually consider with Streamlabs, but we'd like to accommodate as many people as possible. So if there's a simple way, while keeping things easy, right? Like we always want to make sure that it doesn't get too complicated for someone that's coming in for the first time. But if there's easy things we can do to allow complex integrations, we're definitely open to that.
Awesome.
All right. I had one more question about OBS and their current customers, because you said most of them right now are Facebook.
On StreamYard.
Yeah.
On StreamYard. OBS is everywhere. OBS is, people use OBS.
Every time I've ever seen anybody live on Facebook, it's been with a mobile phone. So that was what I was wondering about the hosting a stream as well, because I think you'd have a lot more Facebook stuff, even just with that live stream hosting.
What Walter's saying is, come on, do it, Gage.
Come on, man.
Shut up and
That should be like next. Like I told you this morning, I'm a developer. We're moving this up in the scope document. It's moving to the top of the Scrum list.
All right, number one priority. We do our Scrums on Sunday, so I'll make sure it's brought
Hey,
up.
man, make sure you call me next time and get my approval on all your Scrum lists.
Okay.
I'll become the product owner.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, you said you have 15 minutes, so we're definitely over that. But we do appreciate you joining and having a conversation about this. We look forward to using it in the future. We'll kick the tires for you and let you know how it goes.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for having me on. It was a lot of fun, and yeah, I hope it's a good fit for you guys, and I hope it's a good replacement for Hangouts for people that need that. So, see ya. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here.
I'll be in your stream this evening because y'all have a live stream town hall tonight, right?
Yeah, every week we do. Dan and I go live to answer questions and stuff. 6 p.m. Pacific on YouTube and Facebook. So yeah, feel free to tune into that if you're interested.
Great.
Cool. Thanks, Gage. Sweet.
Well, that's cool. Real quick, there were some questions that had popped up in the in the chat, but it wasn't anything that I felt really couldn't be answered by just us chit-chatting about it. But somebody had asked, and I can't even see it now. Clint asked, can you use OBS with Streamlabs service? Absolutely, we're doing it right now. I'm just using the virtual cam option out of OBS. But of course, if they will write the multiple camera into it, it would be awesome. Because the whole thing with the audio lag, and it is fully adjustable in OBS, but if you adjust it for this, then if you're shooting regular video, it'll be wrong.
Right.
It's all or nothing.
So you'd have to remember your numbers and swap it back and forth.
Right. Imagination to Form wants 99,999 camera support, please. I don't think that's actually a limitation of the software. That's a limitation of your hardware.
Of your hardware.
But, yeah. John Strand wants to know when the company's going to IPO so it can be bought out by Google and shut down a year later. It sounds about right.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know. There was a couple of, so if I didn't catch somebody had asked what the back end was. I didn't really want to ask him that. I didn't feel that was polite. It's kind of like asking people how much you weigh.
Chris, do you want to try to tackle the chat list?
No, I don't.
No.
I love you all, but there's currently 93 of you. I will talk to each one of you as I see you. But
you know, that's really funny because I don't think anywhere close to 93 has commented.
Well, you know, not everybody likes to talk to us. They just like to watch us be stupid.
All right.
But okay, so let's revert back to our usual standing here. That we had an interesting opening for Fun in the Country Basement today, but it is Fun in the Country Basement, and I am Chris Riley. You probably know that since this is my channel. We're trying out new StreamYard software, and I'm going to go ahead and let the boys introduce themselves. So go ahead, Glenn.
Hey, everybody. I'm Glenn from Fun King 3D, and welcome to Fun in the Country Basement. We can be found pretty much everywhere at Fun King 3D. Walter up there. I feel like this
we're going to do that. We're going to do that way more than we should.
It's like the Brady Bunch.
It's hard to do that. Look. Oh, that would be so cool if you had like a rubber hand, Chris, and I went.
Oh, we got to line that up.
Oh, I'm Walter, and I'm Kuntry 3D on this channel, so we do what the hell ever we want to. But as Chris said, we are trying out Streamlabs, and it seems to be working. I did contact Gage this morning, and he agreed that we should all have a trial and test it to its fullest. And then I asked him, did he want to be on the show? And he's like, well, it's really busy. I'm like, well, but you'll have a good time. So he said, sure. And here we were. So
I want to he'd be crazy to not take free publicity at this point, because their potential for explosive growth is tremendous right now.
Oh, it is, especially with that going out August 1st, man.
Yeah. Which I haven't actually seen that anywhere, but anybody that doesn't know, Google Hangouts was actually part of Google Plus, and when Google shut down Google Plus, that left this little nub of Google Hangouts out there that they still have to support, and they don't want to. So now Google has another service, and it escapes me what it's called now, but there's a Google Hangouts chat, which is not Google Hangouts. It's part of this other thing. And then that part's got a stream, but it's a subscription, So I don't know. I don't like to give Google my money. At least not any more than I have to.
Fair enough.
Carl, I agree. I am having a hard time choking the monthly too, but if it works well, to entertain you guys, it'll be worth it.
Definitely worth it.
So, and then like it's for those of you guys who haven't tried it or don't stream, Chris is hosting today, so he actually has a different window than Walter and I have, which is what we were just talking with Gage about, making it to where all three of us can have admin privileges on the same stream. But Chris can actually highlight somebody's comment and it'll put it up on the screen. I think it'll come across me, won't it? That'll be fun.
Yeah, here you go. There you go.
Look at that. I can be like, check it out.
And then I can forget to take it off. So Glenn, we can only see half of Glenn.
Yeah, I'll just be like. so when you guys ask questions now, we'll be able to, instead of being like, oh, so and so, we'll be able to actually pull that question up on the screen, which I think is pretty awesome.
Yeah, I think that is definitely valuable for this kind of format. And
when people kick out the cheddar, we'll be able to highlight the people who kick out the cheddar.
That's true. I'm kind of curious. Not that I'm asking you to do that, but I'm kind of curious how that's going.
Come on, somebody kick Chris some money.
It's pretty cool though. I mean, my feed. I've got YouTube over here. My feed is still a bit grainy. I'm not sure why. Glenn's is definitely clear, but I think yours is still just a pinch grainy, maybe.
Well, I wonder now, because I'm not running through a webcam. Let's do this. Is this picture of me more grainy than the other one?
Oh no, I'll wait for YouTube to update.
Oh yeah, because we're like 30-second delay.
Yeah, mine's going straight through the webcam though. I'm not using OBS today, so.
Well, this is a 920. So
that's directly through the 920, and the other one's through OBS, Glenn?
No, they're both through OBS, but
okay.
The main camera I use is a Sony Handycam.
Yeah, see, your audio is a little bit off from your video. I can tell that way. Now, I am looking at it on YouTube, and mine is friggin' awesomely clear on YouTube right now.
I would say that, Glenn, both of those cameras are about the same. There's not
okay. And mine should be 1,000% better than what I normally get on Google Hangouts to you, Chris.
Yeah, you on YouTube look better than you ever have, really.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
All right, so Brother
as good as in person.
Brother James right now is the winner with Canadian $2, so he's like 75 cents US.
Excellent.
Can you highlight that in the chat? Does that, because it's not actually a chat message.
It comes through as a regular chat message, so it's kind of hard to tell. So there you go.
Brilliant. Look, I can hold it. Look.
They really shouldn't give us new things to play with.
No. Sangul said my forehead's more shiny.
And I don't know, but Gage may be joining the chat here soon because he was asking what your channel was, Chris, so he could jump on here. Or he said he found it, so I don't know if he's going to jump in here or not. So
Okay.
Or maybe he just wants to watch. But I mean, he could have stayed. I didn't have any problem with that.
Patrick Niegenhoff says I look younger now that he can see my pixels.
Walter's always trying to show us his pixels.
Tom, I've had that Handycam running now for a few months. Where you been?
Hey,
yeah,
Chris,
it's doing pretty well.
Yes.
try this out. Try taking mine to full screen and Glenn's to full screen and see how if they maintain the image quality. I know Glenn's will because he's just got friggin' massive.
I have the Queen's internet.
Yeah, you have to click that little square in the down in the bottom. There you go. So see, I'm still clear on here, but he said that's where my camera's sending it. So I don't know if it's that way on
yourself clear.
Yeah, I don't know if it's that way on YouTube because I'm not watching on YouTube right now.
Well, I'll catch them up on YouTube. Whoa, extreme close.
Now see, Glenn is a lot grainier than normal on mine. So, oh, look at there. Now we know what Chris feels like as a host. He just takes over. He's like, you peons.
I have way too much power at this point.
So you will be tiny.
As long as the YouTube still looks pretty good, then that'll be fine.
Yeah, I would say the quality on the YouTube is about the same.
Okay,
whether it's full screen or not.
Okay, sweet.
Cool.
Good with that. Wait.
Tom Ross said, nice pores, Glenn. That is so screechingly loud.
Oh, I run Glenn off.
Glenn, so yeah, see, we're grainy and Walter's not.
What'd you get?
So I got a new toy for the channel.
I see that.
And I'm gonna unbox it and make a video about it, you know, as part of my what equipment I use. But this is the coolest part. Look at this case it comes in.
I need a new pistol case. Take the mics out there and send that to me.
It's like a knockoff Pelican case.
Right?
I mean, this thing is packaged so beautifully. But it's two microphones and one receiver. So you know, Xander and I, when he participates, or like at shows or whatever, you can have both microphones hooked into the camera, which is awesome. And then my big fear was that because I obviously talk louder than Xander does, that I wouldn't be able to mix the audio, but you can mix it right through the receiver.
Sweet.
So it's pretty cool. I will warn you though, it was like almost $500.
Wow. Yeah. Hey, Imagination to Form asked me, was that a 3D printed lightsaber? I'm going to have to say, no, it's not.
No, if that was a 3D printed lightsaber, it would still be in parts behind him back there by that.
Don't make me cut you. Hold on. Wait, I got to go the other way.
Good thing these streams aren't in 3D.
No,
it'll be like, oh yeah, I have one of those. Here you go, Chris.
Yeah. You can see the unboxing if you go check out my Country Living channel. Imagination to Form. I unboxed it this morning because I wanted to play with it on the stream today.
Yeah. Whipping out your saber on live streams.
I did HVAC A to Z. I did. I am going to do an episode with that. We were off during that time. They are on my counter with your note in it. So there you go. Yes, I do.
Carl, I'll post a link to that in just 1 second, brother. But I haven't tried it yet, so don't necessarily run out and buy one until I know that it works.
So what are we working on today, fellas?
StreamYard.
Yeah, I thought we were working on StreamYard.
Yeah, that was it. That was pretty much it.
You want to bring the stream down a notch? Talk about something really sad.
Yeah, I saw that, man.
I'm so bummed.
And it doesn't have power off resume.
No, I've never gotten Marlin to work very well with that power off resume with the SD card read. But honestly, I bet you I've had 2 print failures in 3 years because of power blips. But the biggest model I've ever attempted to print, then I have a problem.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, even during your hang printer time, did you have power outages during that? Any blips?
No, and that was 14 days.
Right.
Yeah. So it's really unlikely for it to happen. It just, my luck ran out. Somebody was asking me how many benchies the hold would fit.
That's crazy. 1 in a piece, 2, 3,
2.5.
2.5.
Yeah, don't ask me why. It seems like a good idea every time I start the print. I don't know. But I got my whole lineup.
Wait, okay, so that's a 700% in your hand, right?
This is a 7, yeah.
And then 5 is beside it, I'm assuming.
No, it's 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
Okay, because 600 is the biggest I've ever printed, benchy wise.
Yeah, well, so far, me too.
Yeah, I'm kind of like Carl. Why didn't you just cut the G code and?
Well, and I saw Carl said that on Twitter because that's a pain, and this is a family-friendly channel. I was already so irritated that it failed that there was no way I was going to have the patience to do that. Somebody said though that I could print the top and glue it, which I still might do that. I still have a lot of left on that spool. I might just print the rest of it and glue it together, because it is kind of a waste of a giant benchy. But
yeah, I had one. It was the piece for the Friday Night 3D Printing Hangout mural from Earth last year. It was I happened to be standing there staring at it when the power blipped, and I was printing it on the AM8, and it was the only one not on the UPS. And I'm like, no way! But I was staring at the screen at that moment because it was almost done. It was like 30 minutes away from being done, and so I knew where it was. I knew what layer it was on, and I was able to recover and finish printing it. And it's in the mural. I mean, that I didn't reprint it. It's that one. That was a recovery.
Yeah, I've saved them before, but I don't know that I have the patience for it nowadays. Yeah, 8-day prints. Well, see, like I would do it if it was a bar stool, but there's something else I was going to say about that. Now I can't remember what it was because I'm getting too old. But yeah, it was no good.
That doesn't count as the old joke, right? Because you made it on yourself.
No, if you say it about yourself, it doesn't count. It doesn't get flagged.
Look at Walter. First of all, not only because he's playing with the camera settings, but the look on your face, you were like you were mesmerized.
Back in the 50s.
So I have been working on the FK1. I'm right now working on the mounts and the triggers for the optical end switches that are going in each corner for the auto leveling. I had a pretty great idea and then realized that it was way more than I needed. I'm just going to have a screw that sticks down out of the carriage plate that breaks the beam. So that'll be a lot easier. I just have to now reprint the 4 carriage plates for like the 10th time. But that's probably the one piece on this printer that I've printed multiples. It's the one thing that's had more iterations than anything else. But I got all the motor mounts are printed. I still haven't cut the lead screws. I need to flip it and lay it on its back so I can get to the electronics and get the electronics box mounted. I got this new lovely multicolor ribbon cable, and so I can get the DuX mounted up underneath there.
Well, good to hear you're working on it again.
So yeah, I'm getting a little motivation back, but I spent the whole week sick. I mean, by the time I would hit the end of my work day at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I didn't want to do anything but go to bed. I mean, I've just been dragging.
And what are you breaking on your MK3, Chris?
It's got a
Walter's frozen.
I'm frozen?
You're
I am
frozen.
frozen. Hold on.
With a very distinguished look on your face.
Yeah, he looks like he's really thinking about something.
That better? Should be better.
Oh, that's better. It was a great image of your desktop there for a second.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I swapped cameras and then came back to this one. So
yes, but yeah. All right, sorry. What were you saying, Chris? What are you breaking on there?
No, this has got a Raspberry Pi Zero on it, and I wanted to put an adapter on it so I could add a webcam. But you got to get kind of creative with that. So I bought one that has an L on the end, so it'll go straight down. So that's what I'm going to do first today, hopefully.
You look scared.
I look scared.
Walter's petrified.
If I'm scared, I'll say I'm scared.
I finally broke down and bought some Weehaw wrenches.
Some what?
Weehaw.
Weehaw.
Yeah. There's German.
What is it?
I know it doesn't make any sense. They're just ball and Allen wrenches.
They didn't have any of the big ones?
No.
See what happens. See what happens, Glenn, when you get the success that Chris Riley gets.
Yeah.
You get to get German ball and wrenches, not Harbor Freight ones.
Yeah. I get those. The Pittsburgh. They're
Whatever they're called.
I got the only reason why I actually sprung for the higher end wrench was because I kept stripping out grub screws.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually have to use the standard size. What is the small standard size? 160 something 64?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess it's just 1/16 instead of the metric on all the grub screws in my cheapies.
Yeah, sometimes I get real creative with the wrench that I use to get those things out.
Clint asked me what juice I'm vaping. It's one I make myself, Clint. It's a strawberry vanilla.
You need to make a channel about juice.
I know.
Everybody always wants to know about it.
I should do that. I'll do that over on my Country Living channel. We'll talk about it there.
You should. People would probably really like that.
I need to change the name of my channel to just 3D Country 3D and stuff. That way I can just do it on my channel.
And that's branding.
So I don't want to release any details as of yet because I want my Patreons to know about it first, and I'm going to actually talk to Walter and Chris about it to see what they think. But I think Xander's Thing Thursday is going to make a comeback.
Cool.
Ooh.
Yeah. He doesn't know yet. He's been at camp all week, so things are different. So let me tell you what that little turd did. I don't use a different word than turd just now, just so you guys know. He went to camp. They left Monday morning, like super early, like 4 o'clock in the morning. That's super early to me, by the way. So he's been gone all week. Well, he's got his phone with him, but they only had there was only like a 20-minute period in the evening where they could use their phones. And no, not Zach's Thing Thursday. It's still Xander's Thing Thursday. So he would text his mom, but he hadn't texted me all week. And so I sent him a text and said something like, oh, you can text your mom, but you can't text me. And then like 24 hours had gone by and I still didn't hear from him. And he finally texted me back and he said, "That's because you smell." And I'm like, there's no way you can smell me all the way from there. He's up in North Carolina. I mean, he's on his way back now. He should be back tonight about 11. But yeah, little turd. I said to him, I'm selling all your stuff because you won't text me.
That's kids for you.
So another downfall of this one is it doesn't highlight the questions to you in the broadcast.
That's correct.
So you have to kind of watch carefully because people have been asking me questions and I haven't been answering them.
Oh, yeah, and see where I'm watching in the regular.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that's something that we need to. Should we be making notes about this?
We should.
Suddenly, I'm a secretary. No
What?
offense to anybody that's a secretary.
Walter's a secretary. You're management.
Dude, if you're waiting on me to take notes, you're backing up. Cause
So let me hit a few highlights here real quick.
I'm not sure how that would work though in a multi-screen because it doesn't know who we are.
well, no,
Yeah.
I mean, but it would still be nice to at least highlight the host.
Right. But I mean, if they write the one where all three of us have access to that, it's going to be just whoever's channels it's on, I guess.
Yeah, that's
So.
true.
Right. So anybody that said something at me that I can see highlighted real quick, I'm gonna go through them. Brandon, yes, I did get the M600 stuff. Thank you for that. What do I think about MakerBase MKS Gen L 32-bit motherboards? Well, they already had a 32-bit board for a while. I think they called it a 3 or something. They're fine. There's nothing wrong with them. I think it's still an LPC something 76, 86. I don't remember the number. It's going to be real close to a rearm or any other 32-bit board. Marlin 2.0 integration should work just fine. And they're cheap. James wants me to highlight stuff just because he wants me to. SKR 1.3, can't wait to get it hooked up. Yep, well, 1.3 has been working really good. Now, I will warn everyone, Marlin 2.0 is going through an interesting phase right at the moment as they're getting ready to roll out the initial release. So some things are currently broke. So don't panic if it doesn't work the first time. They will get it fixed. Claus, I've been wondering since Maker Faire Kansas City, do you go to Hammerspace or any of the other local meetups? I do not. I'm a terrible local person. I don't go to any of the local stuff, and I should start. In fact, just the other day, Joe Mike had a thing where they were working with the guys from Railcore, and I wasn't able to go, and I should have, but no, I don't. But I will look into that. Was it a true power out or just enough to set off? It was a true power outage. It lasted for a while. And that's it.
Well, see, I have to call you out because that first one the second one about the MKS board, you should have answered because you actually put that one on the screen earlier.
Yes, I did.
That was one you clicked and actually showed on the screen.
I show it and not read it.
Right. You showed it and didn't answer it.
Failing.
Justin 3D, go back and watch the beginning of the video, man, and you'll learn all about the layout and how we're doing it and all that stuff. We started off with we're using a new software, and we started off with one of the software developers in the chat, or in the screen with us. So you'll get to hear about that.
3D Jimmy said for us to mention affiliate links for Amazon Prime Day, so I will take this opportunity to say that's my Amazon affiliate link if you care to support the channel.
I have to go find mine. I don't even know what mine is.
You just go to Amazon.com and then create a link. That's the easiest way to do it.
Yeah, just on the homepage, right? That's all you got to do.
Just go to their homepage and then do the Stripe site. What is it? Site Stripe?
Yeah, it's got me signed out over here. They're so stupid.
What was he saying? Oh yeah, what am I doing is MK3. So this one's got a Pi 0 on it, and I wanted to add a camera just so that I could see what it was doing. So I just threw an adapter on the USB port. That's all I was doing. It's one of those things I've been needing to do forever and just never got around to it. So it's done.
And there's mine. I put my Amazon affiliate link in there, and I know these are Chris's channels, so
nope,
Chris has his up there.
Spread it around.
So it's there.
Yeah, I mean, people who hang out with us are smart enough to make the decision on who they want. I mean, they're not going to get roped into one link. They'll know that they can.
Yeah. 3D Jimmy says use the force, Walter.
Use the force.
Oh, let me show you guys what followed me home from the library this week.
And while he's doing that, I do want to tell y'all something about my trip this past weekend. We have passes, so we get the photo pass where the photographers at Disney take your pictures. And when I came back, I was like, you know what? I need to print these. And I got on Amazon, and Amazon Photo for 374 images, it was $33 shipped to my door. I couldn't print those out at home or at Walmart for that price.
That is cheap.
Yeah, so 374 photos for $33 was fantastic. So go ahead, Glenn. I'm sorry.
That's all right. So I took the Creality CR10 back to the library this week, which they were absolutely thrilled to have it back. They did get the Tronc CX1 printing, which was really funny because I said to him, I said, "Did you get that printing?" And he goes, "Yeah." He goes, "You've modified that a little bit." And I said, "Well, yeah." And he's like, "I was looking up stuff online about it, and it was." He said he was going to print a spool holder that clips to the handle on the top, and he goes, "It didn't have a handle on the top." I'm like, no. So, but yeah, they dug this out of the back room. Apparently, it doesn't work, and I don't know what that means, and I don't think anybody else there knows what that means either because it's been just sitting in an office for so long. But I'm kind of excited to get to play with this because I know nothing about these. This
What
is
is
the Replicator. It's not the Replicator 2, and as I understand it, that's good because apparently the Replicator 2 became very, very proprietary.
Well, I wanted to see your MakerBot and raise you a MakerBot clone. So.
Yeah, no, I've never messed with one. The fact that the spool is inside of it's really cool. I like that. Except for you have to use their spools, but yeah, and the Bowden tube is disconnected, so I don't know. Somebody got angry with it.
Yeah, I'll be curious of how that all works out. I don't know which board that is. Most of them had Mighty boards, and there is support for that board nowadays in Marlin. So,
well, it's got a built-in RJ45. It's got a cat connector right on the back of it.
Interesting.
Ethernets. See if I can spin that around. Get you a picture of it. Yeah, it's got the USB and the Ethernets.
Sweet.
Yeah, I don't know which one that would be. I'd have to look that one up.
So that'll be pretty exciting. And they still had the box, the original cardboard box. They have a bunch of extra extruders. They had there was 10 or 12 rolls of filament in the box that were still sealed. The filament that's in it has just been in it for who knows how many years. So I'm sure that roll is garbage. I don't know what the material is. I haven't looked at it yet, but
yeah, those things are really expensive at one time. They probably anything MakerBot probably is still very expensive, but that was not a cheap purchase for somebody.
No, they're like $3,500.
Yeah.
Scott Hackmonkey said, "Get it all figured out, Glenn, because my daughter has one at school I've been recruited to work on." Yeah. So it could go either way, Scott. You could figure it out and then tell me too, you know.
Thank you, 3D Jimmy. I'm kind of glad the storm didn't come ashore here either, but we got plenty of rain off of it. Don't think that it didn't miss us. I'm sure Glenn got plenty of rain this last week as well.
My grass won't stop growing.
I know when we left Disney last week, we actually left Epcot as it started raining, and it didn't stop raining in Orlando for like 2 days after we left. So, yeah, I mean, the bands off of that storm were all the way over Florida, even when it was sitting off of Louisiana's coast. So,
Chris John kicked you in $1 there. Now you can highlight him.
Awesome.
Yeah, I gotta write that down too. Highlight for donation.
that's
Thank you very much, Joe.
That's pretty cool, though. I mean, you can see the donation, and you can throw a banner up there from it.
That's awesome.
The only thing I wish there was a time you could leave the banner and you know, like do a flash banner or something.
Yep. That like
So
it
that
had
it
a
would-
timer on it. Yep.
Yeah, so it fade off later because
That
now
would
he's
be
got to grab his mouse and click it again to take it off.
Yep.
Sound Gold said I should send that printer to you, Chris, and have you fix it, and then I'll take all the credit. As heavy as that thing is, I wouldn't want to ship it.
I was gonna say that it's not fixed yet. You never know.
That thing is heavy. But no, I mean, they were really excited to get their printer back. They were super grateful. I did explain to them that they needed to name a wing in the library after Sergio, but it'll probably just be one bookshelf. Not a very big library.
I'll tell you though, one thing that upsets me about this new platform that we're going to, or that we're using right now, is that with that, my Elgato Stream Deck becomes pretty much useless.
Why?
How are you going to use it with this web interface that we've got?
I don't know.
As far as what is it that you want to do that
Well,
you,
like changing cameras, because you can still change. I can change from this one to my overhead camera.
yeah,
I can do my overhead shot and all that stuff, but I have to actually physically, you know, click on it and do that. You're using OBS though. See, I'm saying
right. You're saying in the software. But again,
Right.
one of their models is to keep it as easy to use as possible, which
No,
I
and
would think if they had maybe like a not two versions, but like an easy side, and then you could click it into the advanced interface to do that
Right.
kind of stuff, you know.
Well, and the thing is, if I play with it and I learn how to get the delay off of the OBS, the audio delay, that's fine. I mean, I have no problem using OBS.
Well, you can, and Buttram said, like he brought up a good point and said that with OBS you can have multiple like profiles. So you could have a streaming profile. I don't know if that's what they call it. You
Yeah.
know, at Walter's age, he forgets things. There's scene collection and profiles. So you could have two different scene collections, one for streaming and one for recording. So then once you get your audio delay dialed in, then you could just have and you'd probably want one for regular streaming, one for StreamYard, and one for regular recording.
Right. And like I said, I just need to get that audio delay taken out because it's really crappy when I use OBS.
Yeah.
53 minutes in, by the way.
What's that?
53 minutes in, by the way.
Sweet.
I have it like for shooting video, I have it dialed in pretty close. I haven't played with it lately, you know. I mean, I've had hardware changes and stuff since then, but my goal is to eventually have a different camera that has an audio in. This particular camera doesn't have an audio input, but by having a camera with an audio input, I could run from the mixer right to the camera, and then it would run it HDMI into the computer, and that would negate all delay.
Right.
So because right now the delay is between the camera and the sound card is where the delay is coming, but
I do like the simplicity of what they're doing. I think they add a few more features and it'll be definitely usable. I mean, it's usable now, but I think it would be more usable with a few features, especially the multi-admin thing. I mean, that's pretty much a given, kind of like your wrench in your thing here. If you give people in your stream rights to add people and that type of thing, I think that would make this complete.
Yeah, for those of you on the outside that don't understand, again, Chris has a completely different interface than what Walter and I get to see right now, because Chris is the host. Chris has the option to click on your messages and have it come up on the screen. Chris has the right to accept guests or reject them, that kind of stuff, or kick them out. He can change the format of the screen. We can't, because we're not hosting. So right now, Chris is working on a project and he doesn't see a particular comment that should be highlighted. Walter and I can't do anything about it except for, say, hey, you need to go and click on that.
Right.
Speaking of which, the world's biggest troublemaker and is in the chat now, Dave Randolph has joined us.
Dave Randolph in the house. All right, everybody be quiet and don't say anything.
Everybody don't talk anything bad about Dave Randolph again.
Solid is the best.
That's not what you said earlier today.
I was going to say, Dave, don't rewind the video.
Just watch from here.
Watch from here out and you're good, bud. And another thing is the delay. I wish there was some way you could take a little bit of the lag out of the chat, because it is quite long.
Yeah.
Now, I know inside of YouTube, when you configure the stream, that you can set the latency, but I don't think that affects this. I think this latency is completely separate.
Yeah,
Well,
and I was looking at that earlier today. Mine's set to the middle one, not ultra low latency, but low latency. I don't know if that affects it.
Yeah, I don't know if it affects this at all, because when I was testing the other day, I was doing and waiting, and it was like 30 seconds. So
no, and it doesn't. And I wish I'd have asked Gage about it, but I'm pretty sure it's in the API where they're sending to YouTube. They set it to the slowest one. That way it gives you a better video quality. Plus, it doesn't tax their servers as much. So I think that would be an advantage for them to have it slower.
Why would it affect their server any differently? It's the same amount of data being pushed.
But they can buffer videos more when they do that, and they don't have to try to use their entire pipe at full speed all the time, because I don't know what I'm pretty sure they're cloud hosted, which would make the most sense. So
absolutely.
They should be riding on a backbone, so it shouldn't be that difficult. But I can see that if you've got, thousands of people streaming through your servers, there's going to be a bandwidth issue somewhere. Because every cloud platform, you get so much bandwidth, and then you have to get more. You have to pay for more.
Right.
So,
actually, my audio sync offset has been reset to 0 somewhere through the time.
where do you even see that at?
If you go in OBS, if you where your little mixer box is on the bottom, where it shows you your audio level, if you hit the gear and go to advanced audio properties, then it's like the middle box says sync offset millisecond.
I got you.
So
how does that that shouldn't even affect? Well, that should move the video. You know what I mean? Because the problem is that the mic is going straight to them, and the video is coming from OBS. You get my meaning?
OBS is processing both. Oh, well, see, I don't know on this particular software. I know on Hangouts. Hangouts, the audio was not through.
Well, let's try it and see. I can tell you in a second. Let me start virtual cam and then go to my.
I guess virtual cam doesn't handle the audio, so it would be going straight. So there's a delay. So would you need? I'd have to read to see if we need a positive or negative delay.
Where are you at? There you are. Why are you not working? This should be working. It's not
24/7 Hinky is asking, for the past month, I've started keeping scraps of filament. Is it worth keeping? I.e., is there going to come a day when we recycle on a budget? For recycling, probably not anytime soon. If you have either a multi-material or a pallet, you could feed it in through that. Or if you have a 3D printing pen, that's what I use all my scraps for, is the 3D printing pens.
Yeah, I'm very interested in that topic, and I've done a lot of research and looking for, because I save all my stuff, and I was shipping it off to a company that will remain nameless for them to recycle it, but they are now closed. So I would like to find a solution to that, but as of right now, even like the stuff in the $8,000 range doesn't work all that well on recycled filament. So yeah, not anytime soon.
Walter's got us muted. Now Walter's got his camera muted.
Well, I'm trying to use OBS cam. Tools, virtual cam, start. Hold on. There we go. All right, so now let's see if we can get the audio to sync up. How bad does it look?
Talk again. Like, say your ABCs.
Come on, man. You were supposed to be watching what I said and how I said it. You should have got it right off.
The audio is before the video.
Yep.
The audio is before the video, so I have to slow it down.
Yeah. So don't say anything for a second, and then just say like 1.
Okay, hold on.
Oh yeah, the audio is quite a bit before the video.
All right, let me go to my input.
It's almost a little bit comical.
Yeah. All right, so if I go, well, what the hell is that? Hold on. Mic auxiliary, advanced properties. Okay, so here, so I need to turn the offset down, right?
I don't know. I would have to Google it. I can't remember.
Is that any better?
All right, don't say anything, and then just say 1.
1.
No, it's your audio is still coming significantly before the video.
Yeah.
Because on mine it looks the same.
No, it's really bad.
Ron, the Happy Extruders here. Hello, Ron.
Hey, Ron.
Sergio was asking about rods for a Prusa. Mr. Dave Randolph, do you sell 330 millimeter smooth rods? And Sergio, I'm guessing you're talking about for the Y axis, because those would be 330s. If he does not, I'll bet you Zaltec does.
3DR CNC says buy all. It's late in Sweden, or it's early for tomorrow, one or the other. Good night. Thanks for being here. Wow, your video just went gray now.
Mine?
Yeah, on YouTube.
Oh, on YouTube, I got you. Yeah, somebody said, is it me or did Walter get a little grayer? Ha, 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 ha.
Yeah, Sergio, the Y rods are the ones that are hard to find because you always see 300s or 350s. You very rarely see the 330s.
You just cut them. Just get you like a coping saw or I like to use a butter knife to cut my smooth rods.
Yeah, or there is that.
Don't try that at home, folks.
Yeah, don't try that at home, kids.
Maker's Mike said, greetings from the Midwest. All right, Midwest apparently is this large place from like Illinois to Idaho. So we're at in the Midwest.
Yeah, but as long
to
as
me,
you're in the Midwest, that's a proper statement.
To me, Chris lives in the Midwest.
To me, I am the Midwest.
Right.
I don't know how you could get any more Midwesty than this.
Yeah, when you Google
either.
Midwest, it just zooms right in on Chris Riley's house.
Right in on Chris's house.
Well, so Great Bend, Kansas is the center of the United States. And that's about, I don't know, 6 hours away from me. So I'm pretty close.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
Oh, he's in Kansas City as well. So he's right there with you.
So we are totally Midwest.
Yeah, but don't ever expect to meet Chris Riley because he doesn't meet people that lives near him.
I'm very elusive.
And Steve, the Lightspeed said he's one of the best video channels on YouTube.
Who is?
Maker's Mike.
Nice.
I don't know if I'm subscribed.
I'm looking.
Oh, so Dave's saying Masumi is carrying those rods, and I agree. They have good stuff, and they can get it to you in like a day.
He's got 620 subscribers, and I don't know. It looks like 15 or so videos, maybe.
Well, now he's got another subscriber.
I need to go over to Shane's channel and say, "What are you doing?" building an MK3 while we're streaming.
I feel like eventually some of these KC people will actually run into each other eventually, right? I mean,
Well, they probably do, Chris. It's just you.
well, I just don't know what anybody else looks like. I don't know. I'll have to check it out. He's got a pretty funny opening thing. I haven't seen the audio yet. But
the trailer, yeah.
there's lots of disco in it. So, alrighty. What was I doing? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm looking for parts that I can't find. Imagine that.
Sergio, it's Mitsumi, 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 and you want to make sure you end up on the US one. As I understand it, the Mitsumi site for the UK will not sell to consumers. You have to be a business in the UK to buy from them. But the Mitsumi here does not care, and they will sell you anything that you want to buy.
Yes, if you have the money.
Right, and a lot of it.
Yeah.
Their stuff is good, but it's definitely expensive.
Yeah,
that's where I got that's where all the aluminum came from for that guy. Yeah. Which the T slot wasn't really that bad. It was all the brackets that were costly.
Yeah, that I bought some linear bearings from. They were almost $6 a piece.
James says he's had 10 unsubs since he dropped his last video. I told you, James, just stop making videos and people will subscribe. I am hanging right at that 4,700 mark. It goes to like 4,703 and then back down to like 4,699, back up to somebody's toying with me. But anybody not subscribed to James at Print and Play, do so now. I'll wait.
KC people never leave the. Oh, Dave Randolph, you shouldn't say hurtful things to me like that.
What's that?
He said KC people never leave the house. They know where they live and they hide in shame. Big Steve. Did he say it was KC or Midway?
James said, my channel's dead. I'm quitting YouTube. From the guy who runs 2 YouTube channels.
Right? Yeah. It's like you starting a second YouTube channel. You know, I know you did it, Walter, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. It's like poking yourself in the eye and then go ahead and doing the other eye.
Yeah. That's a fact. That's an absolute fact. Well, and the thing is, though, I mean, it's just, and it's not that having 2 channels is bad. I mean, Joel Telling tried it. I don't know if he's still doing it or not. I'm
subscribed. Yeah, he's kind of technically nerdy, but he also has a cameraman and editor. You know, like
yeah, I know. But my thing is, the problem is that, like I said, I think I may just go to Kuntry 3D and stuff, and then if you just don't want to watch my other stuff, then fine, don't watch it. You know, yeah. I mean, it's just one of those things because
I don't watch anything you put out, and then that solves all that.
It solves all of that. I know, right?
I have to admit, I don't watch much anymore. I've been so stupid busy with everything going on that I have not watched much on YouTube.
I'm going to mute my mic for just a minute.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah. No, I don't have the backyard for a 3D printing barbecue, but that does sound like a great time.
What's that?
Somebody said we need a backyard for a 3D printing barbecue.
Well, we can use my backyard. It's plenty big. Everybody coming?
Yeah.
Hey, Randolph wants to know who's coming to the yard sale next weekend. Unfortunately for me, that's kind of a trip, so I can't be there.
What, Kansas City?
No, Dave Randolph's garage sale at Prince.
Yeah, no doubt. He needs to have like an online thing so we can see what he's got. That way, if we really want something, we go, hey, Dave, I want that. I'll pay for shipping.
Just have somebody just walking around with a live stream camera.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. So the yard sale is next weekend. The weekend after that is Detroit Maker Faire.
Yeah, I won't be making it to either one of those.
No.
I was going to try to go to Detroit Maker Fair, but I found out too late, and the flights are ridiculous.
Yeah, well, and I thought about it, and with Earth coming in October and Galaxy's Edge opening next month, yeah, I'm not going to have any money to do anything, pretty much.
Yeah, well, Priscilla got her surgery scheduled. We leave Friday to go to Tampa just for the pre-op inspection. And then she goes in on Monday to get a tube put into the kidney. And then we go in on Wednesday for the surgery. And if they don't get it all out or if something goes wrong, then she has to go back in on Thursday for more surgery. Wow. So it's pretty much a week of being out of town. I'm going to be working remotely, but yeah, the hotel and stuff, it's going to take a chunk out of the pocket. But at least they're finally going to get that stupid thing out of her kidney.
Wow. James says there's an unsub bug with YouTube, though. He loses sub each time he uploads a video, and the last time it was K, and before that his best friend, and before that another good friend.
Oh yeah, I have to go in and check through my subscriptions every once in a while too to make sure that it didn't take anybody out, or like I won't see a video from somebody for a while and I'll go to check on them and it's because I'm unsubbed all of a sudden. Right. And it's not in a drunken rage because I don't drink, so it's definitely a YouTube issue.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't pay that close of attention anymore. I know I'm getting close to 1,500. I'm not there yet. I got like 60 folks or something I need. I still haven't given the Star Trek ship I was supposed to give away at Murph away because he didn't show up at Murph and he hasn't been back in chat since then. Really hoping nothing happened to the man. I haven't seen him in anybody's chat, not just mine. Anybody's. So.
Who is that?
Was that Juan Adams or Adames? However you know.
Yeah, Juan Adams.
Yeah, and I haven't seen him in any since right before Murph.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, let's just hope he got smart and rage quit 3D printing.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I'd still like to give him his prize. He still won.
Sure.
Yeah.
Length on Z. Let me verify that.
Z, yeah.
Sergio's building a Bear Mark III, I'm pretty sure. Z is 320.
Hey, there's a note on my screen that says I'm in the show and that everybody can see and hear me. I wasn't aware of that.
Yep, it says that down there.
But it says everyone can see and hear us. I didn't realize we had that kind of reach.
We got some serious pull nowadays.
Pink Mouse says, "What's a Hoosier Club? Sounds well dodgy."
I don't think those guys would disagree.
Well, I agree. I don't think they would either. I'm part of the Hoosier Club, and I live in Florida.
I was gonna say, can I come in as an honorary and just eat food and leave?
That's me. But
Patrick Nienhoff said, "Don't kid yourself, Walter. You're at an age where you just forget which channels you're on."
Right. Yeah. I don't think I'm going to drive to Indiana just for some barbecue, though.
It would have to be some pretty good barbecue.
Maybe it's awesome barbecue.
Yeah, and it may be awesome barbecue, but it'd have to be slap your mama good.
Chris Johnson said you can't see the FK1.
All the dodgy.
Maybe I'll just start doing my streams like this. I just won't even be in it anymore. I'll just...
Pink Mouse, it's a bunch of guys from Indiana who decided to get together and, have these little meetings, It's kind of like a mini Murph once a month or once every couple of months. Like a very mini Murph. That's the new 3D printing. That's the new 3D printing mascot, Mini Murph.
Mini Murph. I like it.
I could do this. Now I can be on here too. So let's have barbecues in several places with a bunch of cameras.
There you go.
Right, there you go. Chris is wanting to come to Florida, but we got to wait till wintertime.
I was going to say that earlier. My wife said, well, you should just go to Florida. And I'm like, yeah, I should, but man, it's hot there.
Yeah, you come this time of year, you won't ever come back.
I think Dave's getting a little digging on me there. Just put a still image of the FK1 on screen. Call it good. It's actually still functional right now, but it's about to not be because I'm about to pull the duet board out of it. But
Pink Mouse, that's something somebody from Indiana will have to answer because I don't know why they're called Hoosiers.
From Xander and Glenn to Glenn and the FK1 to just the FK1. Well, that's improvement, right?
Yeah. We're doing good, 3D Print Creator. All right. Oh, there we go.
How's it going, Brian?
No, I actually need to take a trip down there toward Glenn's. I was going to do it this weekend because I don't know if y'all know it or not, but Shane had to go to the hospital last weekend. So I didn't get to stop by and get that AC that he said I could borrow. So I thought about driving down there this weekend and doing it, but it's just a long trip just to pick up an AC.
Yeah. Especially, since you're a dedicated Jedi now and all.
That's
Yeah,
right.
Shane lives like 15 minutes from me, and I never see him. But I don't leave my house. Got to 105 degree Fahrenheit during my bike ride today. Yeah, that'll wipe you out quick.
I like that. Robbie Mack says no one in Indiana really knows why they're called Hoosiers either. Well, you probably did put his kids through college, Dave. There you go. Hashtag worst Jedi ever. I retired.
Retired Jedi.
I'm was one.
I was just trying to come up with a crafty one about that.
Yeah, I couldn't find one either. That's the best I had. Aaron Seeger, yes. No, I didn't complete the Stargate because you haven't seen it. And the second question, yes, been busy this summer and not too busy to stream. It's just been so damn hot. I've got both ACs running in here with a fan blowing down the hallway right here. And I'm still sweating enough that when I put my arms on the table, I pull them up and there's puddles of water right here. It's that hot in my studio. That's why I haven't been doing as much in here. It is friggin' hot. And when I run a printer, it's way worse.
Oh yeah.
So I've been trying to do some, but it's so friggin' hot, man.
Yes, Brian Tibbetts, I am enjoying the vacation. It's you don't realize how much you think about creating content and getting it out on time until you stop making content. It's pretty nice.
I missed that.
Michael
What?
Fox breaking the heater cartridge wire. Awesome. Glad you found it.
What do you miss, Walter?
I missed what Chris was answering
Oh,
about enjoying the vacation. I see it now.
Yep.
And Big Steve said the last 3 times he came to Florida in the winter from Wisconsin, we had paralyzing ice storms. So he wanted to find out someone pay him not to come.
so paralyzing ice storm in Florida. Somebody spilled their drink.
Yeah, right. Justin 3D, yeah, because this is a 3000 and that's a 3000 BTU, and I really need like a 12.5 in this window over here.
Yeah, at least. I ran 2 15,000 roof units in my RV, and it was still hot in there all the time.
Yeah. Well, the walls are only like, an inch thick styrofoam, so
Brother James wants to know, do 32-bit boards require active cooling for their processors?
They do not. Any processor you're going to find on that board, no, they will not. Like, you probably got like a SMT32 or LPC 1768.
The cooling is typically for the stepper drivers, isn't it?
Yeah, the drivers are going to get way hotter than the processor ever will.
Robbie Mac, I do leave the one on with the fan blowing down the hallway all the time, but I can't afford the light bill of leaving them both running all the time.
Sound Gold said, don't kid us, Walter.
I know.
It's male menopause, not the heat that's causing the sweat.
I figured Chris would click that one and put it up on screen for everybody.
Okay, man, that happens with age.
I figured Glenn or Chris would put it up as a banner and I'd have to see it on the video.
We need to start a GoFundMe account for better work environment for the elderly.
Hey, I'm sure Glenn's all up for that.
Here's one.
Anyone? There you go. I don't know.
I don't think so.
I know the power panic did get better when I did the last upgrade, like Chris said it would, that it took care of that. It doesn't have the offset like it was before.
But Octoprint doesn't understand to resume.
That's correct. No, I didn't have it on Octoprint. But before I upgraded to the latest firmware, when I would have a blip and it would go off, it would rehome and restart. It was 0.5 millimeter offset from where it was supposed to be.
Yeah, I'm not really sure if that integration will actually ever be possible. Maybe, I don't know, but I don't know anybody that's working on a plugin or anything like that.
Yeah, I don't either. 3D Jimmy said Walter reinforced the roof and go underground. The problem is that 12 inches up underneath the ground there's water, so it would have
ocean. Yeah,
yeah. I mean, you know, I will, Aaron Seeger. I promise, buddy. I promise, and it's going to get better. I promise. As it cools off, and if it's raining on a day, that's better. The video may be crappy, but at least it'll cool off in here. Right now, I can't even feel that. I can't feel that AC back there is running, and it's running wide open.
I'm very sad that my trackball, the left mouse button is failing in it.
Take it apart and fix it.
I don't like unsolder it and solder a new one in. I don't know, like you go to click on something and it's almost like it's double bouncing because you'll click something and it'll select it and unselect it immediately.
Carl just said just pile dirt around the sides of the camper. It's cheaper to buy an air conditioner than it would be to buy dirt to bury the camper above ground. I've thought about it.
You know, we don't got no dirt here in Florida. It's all sand.
Oh, Aaron Seeger said, Country 3D, you're still producing more than Fun King.
Oh, somebody got banned. Oh. Yes. Well, you know why that is? It's because Walter Bogart's all of YouTube. Like you can't pick a day to stream because Walter's on that day.
Whatever.
Well, again, I was on the throne, and I was having a moment where I was trying to think about how to come up with a weekly video segment again, and I was thinking to myself how much I miss Xander's Thing Thursdays, and then the solution just came to me, and I'm like, yeah, this is it. This is how I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, I was on the throne painting your picture the other day and wasn't thinking about nothing else.
Actually, Carl, without Xander, I only do half as much work. That boy created a lot of work for me.
Yeah, right? Just park it in Glenn's garage. Yeah, it's probably 400 degrees in Glenn's garage.
Oh, it is hot out there. I don't even like to go out there.
I don't blame you.
I was out there working on the lawnmower the other day. I had to change the blades and stuff, and it was like hour and a half. Oh, no, it was when I was changing the oil in the car. I was out there for like an hour and a half, and I thought I was going to have a stroke.
Yeah, I told those guys on my live stream this morning, it was the high this weekend or last weekend when we went to Disney was supposed to be like 89. and Saturday it was 98 degrees, and the heat index was like 114.
Yeah. Well, and I got one of those big 48-inch floor fans.
Yeah.
Then, you can roll. It's got the big wheel. It's like a big barrel. But the problem when you turn that thing on, all it does is blow hot air on you. So I want to convert it into a swamp cooler.
Swamp cooler. Yeah. Video series idea for Glenn. Fun King makes fun of Walter's Tuesday.
Fun King makes a swamp cooler.
You know what? Maybe that's what I'll do. I will start doing a stream every day that Walter does a stream, but I'll do it right after, and I'll just critique Walter's stream.
Hey, go right ahead, man. That's how people get better.
We had that idea a long time ago that we just take Walter's stream, only we do the words.
Oh, yeah.
Like Mystery
We're
Science
gonna do that.
3000.
Yeah.
That would be hilarious. It really would. Yeah. Colorado was like 80 with no humidity. Sucks, huh? Well, no, not in Colorado, it doesn't. But we could be in Australia and freezing our butts off right now.
That is true.
I saw one the other day. I don't remember who it was. Somebody posted on Facebook, and it was a weather map of Australia, and it was like -40, -20, negative. I'm like, holy crap, that's cold, man.
Oh, wow.
That's a personal Swamp Larry cooler.
Swamp Guy Larry cooler.
Yeah.
That's just Walter standing behind you with a fan, fanning you on the back of the neck. Spits on you once in a while to cool you down.
See, I wish they would let you change that too, but they won't even let you change that. I'd have to go out and come back in to get that changed.
What's that?
Your name tag up there, I could put Swamp Guy Larry.
Oh yeah, because it asks you when you join.
Yeah. I know when I opened up Chris's test stream the other day, when you didn't join us for some ungodly reason.
Oh yeah, when you didn't invite me. Jerks.
I really did feel bad about that after, because I was like, we're sitting here and I'm like, Glenn would probably jump in. I don't know why he hadn't jumped in already. And then I go back to message Chris back. I'm like, oh, because we didn't have Glenn on.
Well, I thought you even said it. Was like, well, he's had a lot of stuff going on. He probably can't. No, it's just we didn't include him in anything.
Right. Chris didn't message the right group.
Chris
and I didn't pay attention.
The right group.
I'm not going to blame Chris completely, because I didn't pay attention. I didn't see it either until after. But when we were doing it, I jumped on, right, and I got my Kuntry 3D name up there. Chris's is Maine.
Yeah.
Main, just Maine. Like, ego much?
I'll just punch the stuff in, man.
Yeah, I think you thought it was what camera you were using on that one too, didn't
Right.
you?
I thought it was like what source do you want to use?
Right.
So these are the filament dryers. What's the name of this guy? Thordson filament dryers. You've got the inline, which is 2 V6 hot ends, and then you've got the one that actually passes through the box.
Oh wait, you said filament dryer?
Yeah.
But just heating it like that, it's still not going to dry it. Didn't we learn that from Filidry?
Well, and that's why I kind of got these out of the box.
Yeah, it's not going to spend enough time in there.
And that's what I would like, because they sent these to me, and they said, no big deal, give them a try. They're quite a bit less expensive than a Filidry. They do have nice digital readouts on them, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking, well, how should I test it? How should I even give it a try? So I got to come up with a scenario that's going to be better than soaking filament for weeks on end.
Well, I was going to say you could repeat the test you did and then send it to me, and I'll tear it apart again.
Well, it'd be much easier. This has 6 nice screws on it. So.
Oh wow. Yeah, the other one was glued together, so it was a little more difficult.
Yes, I don't know, but I have them, so why not?
Aaron Seeger said, Chris Raleigh, I thought Filadry was the bee's knees of products. I purchased one from your review.
Another person that doesn't watch the video.
Fixing to say, you should have watched his video and then jumped over and watched mine because you wouldn't have bought it.
How could you buy just one? I bought 3 of those after that.
Gotta have one for every printer.
Steam the filament, not liquid water.
I'll send you this roll out of this MakerBot. It's been in the humidity long enough.
You know, and it, you say that, but I printed several things with this purple filament that I got from IC3D, and it's been sitting in this camper in this humidity since I got it, just out in the open. And I had no ill effects. It takes a while for humidity to build up inside the roll. Maybe the first couple of wraps are not that great, but inside the roll, it takes a while for that filament to get humidity into it.
Yeah, the filament that I've run into with moisture issues, usually just the first couple inches are brittle.
Yeah. What you laughing at, Chris?
Dave Randolph said he ordered 5,000 for stock, and now he's screwed.
Oh, man. See, Dave, that's what you get for just watching Chris. You should have watched mine.
That's what happens.
But I can definitely tell the difference opening a fresh roll.
Oh, yeah.
Like by the time I get to the end of a roll of PETG, which is usually just, a couple of weeks at most, but I can always tell when I open a fresh roll how much better it is.
Yeah, PETG for sure.
Yeah, Aaron, that's exactly right. And if you go to the title of mine, I told the truth in the title. I just don't buy it. It's a scam. But I can promise you that the company that sent Chris those, if they saw my video, they would not send me one.
Not if they care about their product.
Right.
He seemed pretty aware of what we had done. So
yeah. Well, I feel crapped on now because I didn't get one.
Maybe he figured it was going to be the other way around this time.
Yeah, right.
Man.
3 in a row may actually try to dry it. That's what Edge of Tech said.
Maybe.
I don't know. Well, see, and Clint said anyone tried to dry filament with a vacuum. Well, that's kind of what Filadry said theirs was doing, was creating a vacuum.
Yeah, out of your wallet.
Well, the thing is, I cannot tell a lie. It did create a vacuum. It just it was not powerful enough to pick up a piece of dust off of your table.
It might have created a low pressure area, but there was no way that was creating a vacuum.
There you go. Well, I mean, any low pressure with opening to a high pressure area is going to create a semblance of a vacuum.
Yeah, it vacuumed your money right out of your wallet.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Sean Gould said you just need to move your printing to New Mexico. No issues with filament there.
Well, that's like Joel has all those rolls hanging up on his shelves in his workspace, and I thought, if I did that here, I might as well just throw it all in the trash. All right, mouse is working again.
The best way to keep your filament dry, and if you needed to dry it, what would you recommend?
Never take it out of the vacuum sealed bag.
But there are several things that you can build, things to feed your filament out of a dry box. and there's the oven method. You can get a dehydrator and do it. I mean, there's several things that people do, Matthew Phillips, to dry filament and to keep it dry. And there's several YouTube videos on it. I don't have any. I don't do nylon. So
there's a big difference between keeping it dry and drying filament that's already wet.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So, I mean, keeping it dry can be as simple as I put all mine in a gallon-sized Ziploc bag with a couple of desk impacts. I never leave filament sitting on the printer when I'm not using it.
Of course you don't. Me either.
I never just have rolls of filament sitting around that aren't in a Ziploc bag.
Me either.
I don't have stacks of spools on the floor everywhere.
Right. Oh, Carl asked me, was I going to take the filler dry to earth and ask for a refund? No, I threw it in the garbage, man. I kept the pieces and threw the plastic in the garbage. It wasn't worth having.
Aaron wants to know why none of us do projects or reviews when working with wood-based filaments. It's funny, the only wood-based filament that I have has come in the maker box, and I haven't printed with it yet. And I can't even tell you how long ago that was.
I actually did do a wood filament project way back. It might have been before I started YouTube, but it's really the only one I've ever done. It was one print. I printed the heart box that has the key, that locks and unlocks. It's on Thingiverse, and I gave it to my wife for Valentine's Day. So I think that was right before I actually started putting videos out, because it was February. So, and I think, Murph in 2017, 18 was February, was it not? Last year, not this past, but the one before,
like March 20th or something like that.
Okay, so I did it right before Murph. So I don't have any videos on wood filament, and with the humidity down here, wood filament's even worse, I think.
Well, plus you got to run a larger nozzle size, and I run 0.4s on all of my stuff. So
it's not that you even have to. I ran a 0.4 when I did the box. The problem is that when you get done, it's not a 0.4 anymore.
Well, you're supposed to run a 0.5 or higher, otherwise the wood grains can get stuck.
Right.
Yeah,
I recommend running a 0.5 or larger.
I've been through wood I'm not a filament guy, really. I mean, the Filler Dry was about the most filament-oriented video that I've done in a long time. I use it on occasion. It's cool, but it's kind of expensive, and there's not most of it's wood-based PLA that you find, and it's not really. I mean, I don't know. I really can't find a reason to use it.
Well, it's got a neat look to it, and you can stain it, and
I mean, it's cool, but
yeah, I don't know.
Pink
But
Mouse,
the whole Filler Dry and these filament dryers, I still think that is a piece of equipment trying to fix a problem we don't have.
Yeah.
I mean, if the filament is wet, that's not going to fix it. Like you're not going to run nylon through that and be able to print it like there's no moisture in it. It's just not in there long enough.
Yeah.
Aaron Seeger, it's like Glenn said, it's PLA. You probably want to use a bigger nozzle because of the particles in it, but it's not hard to work with. It prints just fine. It's PLA. So it's not too bad. Pink Mouse says, I'm still waiting on the day someone produces a cryogenically treated filament. I don't know why you'd want to cryogenically treat a filament.
I would think that would cause a problem with the plastic.
I think so too. I think it changed the crystalline structure of the plastic. So I don't know.
I think the most exotic and one of my favorite filaments that I ever print is the ones, I don't even remember who makes it, but it is infused with the leftover part, whatever's left over after you make beer. So it's kind of granular in it, but it looks kind of like wood, but it smells like toast when you print it. It's really kind of cool.
Interesting.
I've still got the coffee one that I got way back. I haven't even tried yet.
Yeah.
Well, MakerBox comes quite frequently with those weird type filaments, which are always fun. But maybe I'll dig through my my vast collection of maker box and find some wood filament and print with it. And
Like strawberry when it prints, there probably is one. I would think. I mean, PLA, being probably mostly corn based, I would think you could make plastic out of anything that had starch in it. Basically, sugarcane or what's that one stuff? Sorghum.
Yeah. All right, and to Pink Mouth's defense, well, it works for audio cables, yeah, but that's a wire. That's not just plastic. And when you super cool wires, yeah, they conduct better. There's less resistance.
yeah, I think if you were to super cool the PLA, that would become very brittle.
Yeah.
I think as soon as you tried to print with it, it would just snap.
It's called wart, Chris.
Wart? Is that what it's called?
Wart. Yes. W-O-R-T, wart.
Correct. Yep.
That's
left over after you make beer. That's called wart.
Cryogenically frozen filament suspended in time until the MMU2 bugs are worked out.
Okay, so sometime in the year 2096, we will get to unfreeze our filament.
My MMU is still sitting over there. I haven't even attempted it yet because of all the horror stories.
Yeah. And I'm not knocking. They're trying. I mean, both them and the other guys. What's the other one?
Pallet.
Yeah, pallet guys. They're trying their damnedest to get them to work. They don't want to put products out that don't work.
Yeah,
I mean, that doesn't make sense.
Here's my thing, and maybe I'm wrong, and you guys can correct me. But once I convert my printer to that MMU, that's the way it is, right? Like you don't get to choose each time you print.
Yeah.
It doesn't, because I thought it changed part of the extruder.
Well,
my fear, I don't want to screw the printer up.
It does, but that part that it changes of the extruder really wouldn't affect it if you unplugged it and took it off.
Okay.
I mean, it would change it a little bit because you have the fitting up there where the Bowden tube goes into.
Right.
But I mean, it's just a Bowden tube fitting basically on top of the extruder. So no,
I'll still be able to use my Prusa like I can now.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, because
if you unplug it, right, you have to unplug it. Then the card knows that it's not there, so it's going to treat it just like an MK3.
Okay. Well, then maybe I'll do it.
Which I don't. I just say, okay, which I load the filament in the tube I want to use, and then when I go to print, I just say filament 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and load it that way and let it run.
And you don't have any issues.
What's that? No, because the problem is with the changing of filaments. It's not with the print. Once that first filament loads and you print with that the whole time, it's just like it's printing normally. I mean, that thing opens back up, and the Bondtech gears are the ones that drive it. So it has nothing to do with the MMU then.
I mean, that thing prints so magnificently.
Oh, yeah.
I just, I fear doing any changes to it.
And I don't have one over here, but the blades, the print-in-place swords that I printed that expand, right, those were all done through the MMU2 with just a single filament. So, yeah, it prints just as good. So, well, and Tristan says he hears there's a perfect way to succeed in multi-extrusion. It's called multi-extruders. The problem is there's problems with that as well.
Oh, yeah, because it's very hard to get those extruders dialed in
exactly
perfectly as well.
So, yeah, I mean, until you get and even then, the guys at E3D that are doing the multi-tool, that's the coolest thing ever. But that's still a mechanical thing that they have to be level with,
Yeah, they're still dialing in on all of that.
Did anybody in chat, are you in line for the tool changer, and what number are you?
Are you in line, Chris?
I am number 408.
Of course Chris is in line for the tool changer. It's a dumb question, Walter.
I have to be. I
know. If I had Chris's money, I would be too.
They said that they were going to ship the first 100 hopefully by the first part of October. So I don't know where that puts me at 408, but it's a ways away still. I asked them on one of their live streams way back. I said, so we're going to see all these tool changers at Murph. Everybody's going to have theirs by then. They're like, oh yeah, by Christmas, no problem.
Yeah. Well, Pink Mouse, if that's the case, the people freezing their CDs are idiots.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, it makes those ones just a little more crisp than the zeros.
What about the Diabase machine? Didn't they had that at Murph, right?
Yeah.
I when I first seen that, I thought it said the diabetes machine.
The diabetes machine.
That's my new nickname, diabetes machine.
And I don't know if you've seen it or not, Glenn, but there's a company out there that has an add-on to your. It's a little thing that Bluetooths to your smartphone.
Yes.
You put over your eye, so no more pricking your finger.
No, I haven't seen the one over the eye, but there's one that it's a patch. It actually, there's a needle that goes in you, but you wear it like a Band-Aid for a week at a time, and all you have to do is wipe your phone over it anytime you want to know your blood sugar.
Now this one, you turn on the program, you hold this up to your eye, and it does something with the eye mapping or something, and it can tell your blood sugar just as accurately as any blood test.
Interesting. I will have to look into that.
Yeah, look that up because you no longer have to prick, and I believe it's available. I believe they have FDA approval for the device.
I would be fine with the one that I stick on my arm and can check my blood sugar. Because here's the biggest issue. I mean, I've gotten over the whole poking the finger thing. I don't care. I can do it now, no problem, even though I hate needles. But the needles themselves aren't so bad. The test strips are ridiculously expensive.
Yeah.
And I mean, my insurance covers the majority of it, and it's still like $40 a month. And so I feel really bad for the people who don't have any coverage. But this thing, you can check it as much as you want, and it'll give you your reading anytime you want to check it. And the insurance company fights to pay for it. They don't want to pay for that.
Well, and I think this one is coming out at such a price. It's like $35 or $40.
Yeah.
And you never have to buy testing equipment again, ever.
Yeah. Well, the meter itself was, I bought the fancy one for $20. It Bluetooths to my phone. So as soon as I scan my blood, it records it into my phone for me. Then when I was going to the doctor last week or whenever it was that I went, I printed a whole chart of my blood sugar numbers. Like I could show them all the way across the board how my sugar numbers have been. So that's great. But it's the cost of those stupid little strips. And then like sometimes you'll poke your finger, you won't get enough blood. You go to scan, it'll tell you, oh, it's not enough blood. By the time you get more blood out of the hole, it's timed out, and you have to throw that strip away and do it again. So Adam said each patch is like $125. But it's supposed to last like 2 weeks. So Andrew said that's less than I pay for meds. I pay more than that. Well, yeah, I'm talking just the test strips. You got to pay for the needles. The lancets aren't that expensive, but the strips and then my medication. But actually, my medication Publix gives you for free. So.
I was trying to look it up, but I can't find it either. So it popped up the other day. It was one of those, have you seen this or something, popped up on some website I was on. And I read about it, and the guys are it's really cool technology.
Well, I got my most recent eyeball injection a week ago Wednesday, and the results have been significant improvement. The spot in my eye, which is no longer a blind spot, now it's a fish eye. It's kind of weird, but I can actually see out of that spot again, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
But they've now got me 8 weeks in between injections. So they're spacing them out. I don't think she wants to admit that I'll have to have them done forever, but that's $3,600 every time that I get an injection, which is crazy.
RCCNC, I've been kind of hopping around. So I've got extruder issues on this printer, which I don't know that I'll ever fix, but I'm still working on it. And then I was going to check out these filament dryers, and they look pretty much identical, other than you get a hot end with one. But I could totally pull these hot ends off and use them on a printer. I could totally do that.
Yep.
So that's what I'm working on. And I'm printing parts over there and over there. Andrew Murphy, hello.
Adam said that he found out he was diabetic 2 months ago. Welcome to the club. No. So far, I just managed with 2 pills a day and no metering. I'll tell you what, watch your diet. It's hard. It's hard, but if you can maintain your diet, it will do amazing things for you.
Pink Mouse, no, we don't. But thank you for the suggestion.
Yeah, no doubt. Michael Cassell says he's paid $16 for 3 months of metformin, takes 1,000 milligrams a day. I take 2,000 milligrams a day, but Publix covers it. Publix supermarkets down here covers it free of charge. Generic only.
Yeah, but isn't that the? I think diabetes is the only one you don't even have to have a prescription for.
What's that?
Diabetes, you don't even have to have a prescription for at the pharmacy anymore. You can actually go in and
Walmart will give you insulin without a prescription.
Okay.
And
Is it just insulin though?
It's like $25 a bottle. You just walk in, no prescription, no prescription card, no nothing. You're like, I don't have any insurance. I'm paying cash for insulin, and it's $25 a bottle.
Chris, you can highlight that banner, buddy.
Tristan said, if you ain't falling on your buttocks hypoglycemic, do you need to be so critical about your sugar levels? Absolutely. If you have any form of diabetes and your body does not maintain your sugar properly, absolutely you need to be critical about it, because things will happen like you will lose all the nerves in your feet and you will have to have your feet amputated. You can go blind like I was. There's all kinds of nasty things that go with diabetes, and frankly, it will kill you. You can die from it. So,
Mad Mike 8, I assume you're agreeing with Pink Mouse that we do need national health care. No, I disagree.
I also disagree. Our government couldn't. No, let's not go there.
I'm a vet.
I agree that we don't talk about it on this channel.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for the $10. Beer on me. I will put that to very good use, my friend. Aaron Seeker is good people.
Publix chicken tender subs are awesome. All of Publix subs are awesome. Boy, there's a lot of diabetics in here.
Yeah.
Diabetics unite. Woo!
But I think the free insulin thing is just recent though, isn't it?
It's not free. It's cheap.
It's not that it's free, but you don't have to have a prescription.
Right.
And I think what happened was that people driving nationally, like when they go on a trip or whatever, if something happened and they ran out of insulin or they dropped a bottle and busted it or whatever, it was really hard to get a bottle. Oh, and Mad Mike said no on the prescription, at least for the insulin she uses. I don't think so, Mad Mike. I don't know. I didn't think there were different types of insulin.
I had seen something on the Facebooks about how you can just walk into Walmart and get the insulin, no prescription. And I thought, all right, this is another one of those BS scams. But I researched it, and that is true. So if your insulin is costing you, and of course your research, your mileage may vary, but if you're paying more than $25 for insulin, try the Walmart thing. You just go in. Don't tell them that you have insurance. Don't tell them nothing. In fact, Google it. All the information will come up.
Yeah, Brian Tibbett said there's still a prescription insulin and it's not affordable. I didn't think there were different types of insulin.
But the problem is when you have a prescription for it, it's not affordable.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. There's only one type of insulin. I didn't think, fast and slow acting.
Right.
Okay. I don't know. I've never had to use it, so I don't know.
Clint said there's multiple types of diabetes. That is true. There's type 1 and type 2. And there's pre-diabetes. And if you have pre-diabetes, then you need to straighten your butt up, because If you have pre-diabetes, you can fix it. Once you are no longer pre-diabetic and you are diabetic, you are done. You will never not be diabetic. There is no cure for diabetes. I had a lady tell me, I took the kids into Krispy Kreme, and the lady was like, "What are you having?" And I'm like, "Nothing. I'm diabetic. I can't eat this stuff." And she's like, "Oh, well, all you have to do is keep your blood sugar numbers good for 2 months, and then you're not diabetic anymore." And I'm like, "Oh, well, apparently Krispy Kreme people are doctors now."
Right?
They're not. Somebody mentioned that, sorry for a dodgy subject. It's not a dodgy subject. It's
we just try to avoid
it's not 3D printing related. That's all. It's.
Well, neither is diabetes, but and Chris is over there going, "I don't have diabetes. I'm 38, man. What the hell?"
Well, I hope to never have it.
Wednesday, right? Wednesday.
Yes. I will be even older.
It's Chris's birthday.
That is true.
Oh, really? We should have had cake. Now talking about diabetes.
He will be 38 years old.
I will be.
Oh my gosh.
No.
38. What an old man.
38 going on 70.
Yeah, who is it that posted on Twitter that they're 40? Somebody just posted that they're turning 40 in the community. And they're like, "Oh, over the hill," or whatever. And I'm thinking, "Oh, that must be nice to just be 40."
Right?
So what about those 3D printers? So there's something. Oh, somebody said they were ordering their. Thank you. They were ordering their T-slot extrusion. There's like 15 things that I need to build, and I got a bunch of extrusion, and I think it's good extrusion, but I think I got it pretty cheap. So I'm not really sure how to tell if it's any good. But let's take a look at it real quick.
Well, if it's straight.
If it's straight.
Yeah.
And doesn't have a lot of burrs on it.
In it.
Yeah.
Where did that come from, Chris?
This is Zaltech sells a kit.
Oh, okay.
It's like 8 meters total or something like that.
What's the kit for though?
It's just they give you. It's like they're actually geared towards hypercubes. They give you enough to build a hypercube, all the nuts and bolts and
okay.
Yeah,
I got you. So the Evo version or just a straight up hypercube?
They got both. This is the 2020, so straight up hypercube.
Straight up hypercube.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you. You ever want to have a good time? Order up some V-slot from OpenBuilds. It took me, I think, longer to unpack that than it did to cut it up and make the frame for the FK1. The packing on it is miraculous.
That's how I felt about that FT6 kit. Man, they really put the packing on those things.
Hey, Chris, now you be careful with that knife. Don't cut yourself.
I don't know.
You are still a young.
You get corners too, so that's nice.
Yeah, that's where the big money comes in, is those stupid little corner brackets. You order those from Mitsumi, they're like $7 a piece for the black one.
Well, good thing I went with this kit then. Yeah, this wasn't real high, I don't think. I mean, I want to say less than $60.
Well, see, the thing about it is, if you can get all the parts to make a cube out of that, that's worth the $60 right there.
Yeah, I got more. I got twice as much in aluminum for build plate and a spring steel sheet than I will in the rest of the build.
Oh, is that the one that you'd asked me about the mix 6 plate for?
Yeah, and we decided to go with 1/4 inch. That is one hefty plate, brother.
Well, that's the thinnest you can get it.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
And Robbie Mack said he did a $5 super chat for a Benchy tattoo fund, and it didn't show up in chat.
Oh. They were talking about the Benchy tattoo last night. Let's see where it is.
Well, I didn't see it. I didn't see it in chat.
Oh. It's not showing up in the top chat area.
Nope.
It's not. It didn't show.
Glenn Hogue said Mitsumi extrusion is packed well too. I can't remember. It's been so long since I got my Mitsumi extrusion.
So how many tattoos do you have, Chris?
0.
And Glenn?
None. I don't like needles.
Oh, I get you. So a Benchy tattoo would suit Chris Riley, though.
Yeah.
Well, we were talking about that. I don't think that would be a real bad decision at this point.
No,
I thought about getting the Fun King done right here, but it would have to be a temporary stick-on.
oh, but yeah, I mean at 38, yeah, you're sure,
Yeah, I could probably get it on my forehead and nobody'd care.
yeah, right. I got one when I was 17, and I don't pay any attention to it anymore. So
Yeah.
I have one.
Baby stock. That's right.
I'm not going to try this name because I will butcher it. Zhang, I think is the last name, but how fast do Mix 6 heat up? I'm building a super big 3D printer, and I'm wondering if my silicone heater can handle the super thick plate. The plate on the FK1 is 1/4 inch Mix 6 plate with a 1600 watt 120 volt heater underneath it, and I can heat that bed in about 10 minutes. Actually, I think it's like 7.5 minutes to get it to 60 degrees. So hopefully that helps you out.
And what'd you say? That's a 1400?
1600.
1600. Yeah, I got to order one of those as well. The watt ratio, when you're thinking about what to heat up and how thick it is and all that good stuff, all those numbers, they come out real high in wattage, but I don't know if it's because those silicone heat pads, the quality's kind of iffy sometimes, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
But the FT6 has an 1/8 inch aluminum plate, and it's got a 700 watt heater. That thing heats up almost instantly.
Yeah, I don't know. When I was looking to get mine, James said I'm quitting YouTube, so I don't need this YouTube money anymore. Enjoy this 83 cents US. When I was looking to get mine, and I'd reached out to that company about custom making me one, I just told them what I was doing. That I was building a 3D printer, that it was going to be a 1/4 inch thick plate. This is how big it was. I wanted it to heat to 110 degrees Celsius. And they were the ones that came back with the 1600 watt.
Okay.
So,
Aaron Seeger, I'm glad you liked that walkthrough. I felt kind of lazy about that video, actually. It's like, okay, here's my stuff. Hope you guys like it.
Here's some stuff, and over here's some more stuff.
That's right. Here's stuff I don't even look at anymore. 3D printed drum set. And that'd be an interesting project. Maybe we could do a lot like carbon fiber. Canadian pesos.
500 Canadian pesos. Canadian.
Yeah.
Oh,
we lose Walter?
Walter's gone. God, he's really serious about that 6 o'clock thing. I don't know what happened.
He was froze on the YouTube side, so maybe that's what happened.
Oh, and Walter was frozen, yeah. Old curmudgeon said 1600 watt. Yep, 1600 watt, 110 volt. That thing heats up nice. I can lay on there and take a nap in the wintertime. It's just so funny how many people walked up to that thing at Murph and went, "Is this heated?" Yep, very much so.
Sure is. Blowing breakers all across the United States.
Yeah, and then one of the I had a dedicated circuit. I was okay. One of the biggest questions that I got on that was why I didn't do multi-zone heating.
Yeah,
and in fact, one of the Andrews from 3D Gloop had asked me that, and I said, well, it wouldn't have mattered if I would have done 2 heaters underneath there and heated half the bed. The bed would have leached it off anyway.
Right.
So I would have been heating the whole bed with half as much with half as much heater. Well, he's a thermodynamics engineer. and so like I'm telling him this and he's like, yeah, you're right. You'd have to have some kind of break in there with a insulator and so like we were chit chatting, and that's when he goes, well, I'm a thermodynamics engineer. And I'm like, oh, well, I'm glad to know I was right then, because I'm a seat of the pants engineer.
Next time, please hand me your business card before we have a conversation.
No, I love the Andrews. They're both great.
Yeah.
That's about all a 15 amp breaker can feed. Actually, this thing, when it's running full board, takes 17 amps. So it is on a dedicated 20 amp circuit here in the house. The Stargate does have a 38-minute time limit.
Well, Glenn, it is past 6 o'clock your time.
It is.
We've lost a Walter. Oh, we've got a Walter back. Hold on.
Oh, yeah. He came back. You just didn't know it. Oh,
No,
no,
I
he's
can't.
in the bottom.
What happened?
That's because I power went out.
Oh,
Look, Walter's down here now. I guess. Oh.
Yeah, but that's because I joined first earlier, so I guess it just puts us in order that way.
it'd be nice if you could drag the windows around. That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, it would be.
That on the list.
Yeah. Well, I was just telling Glenn it's after 6 o'clock. It was, and we lost a Walter, so might as well be a good time to hit it.
I heard that we lost a Walter, and then I came back. And I would have been back faster, but on boot up, of course, Windows had to install some updates and then restart again.
Of course.
Aaron Seeger said he was the one with the shots that every time that I touched the bed, he was taking a shot. Yeah, he came up to me and he said that I was a drinking game, and I'm like, what? And he goes, yeah, every time you touched the bed of the FK1, we were taking a shot.
Wow.
I saw them in the chat when I was standing over at that other table at Murph. They were like, everybody's drink.
All right, Walter, go ahead and do your outro.
Okay. Well, I am Walter from Kuntry 3D. Thanks for watching. Appreciate y'all being here, and hope that this StreamYard stream is to your liking, because I like it. I think it works pretty good. With the upgraded trial, we're able to remove the logos and do some things a little different than you can with the free version. So go check them out if you're looking for a stream thing. I'm just going to give him a plug because he jumped on here, and for right now, it's a pretty good thing. So, but check us out, Kuntry 3D, and as Glenn will tell you, funcountrybasement.com. You can subscribe to all of us on there. So go check that out as well.
Thanks for stealing my thunder.
I did.
It is weird us not popping up like when we talk, like we don't take over. It's still the three of us always. But yeah, as I say every week, thank you guys so much for being here, because it'd be stupid for us to do this if you weren't here watching. And we really appreciate you not only being here but also interacting with us in the chat, because that does make it a lot more fun. I promise next week that I will be a little bit more organized and have something to work on. I've been really under the weather this week, so I didn't do much of anything. Fun Country Basement or funinthecountry.basement.com. We'll always have the link to the next stream, usually by Sunday, sometimes earlier. It's me next week, right? Fun Country Basement, fun. Yeah,
yep.
That's me. So it'll be me next week. So I will get that updated as soon as we get off stream. You can find me pretty much everywhere at FunKing3D. I'm having a hard time not saying us anymore, being that my right-hand man doesn't come and join me anymore. He's got an excuse now. He's out of state. But yeah, you can find FunKing3D pretty much anywhere at FunKing3D. And Twitter is our preferred method of contact.
But with StreamYards, there's no longer an excuse. He can just pull up his phone, just join right in.
That is
be on
true.
screen.
He doesn't know anything about this, so
Right. So, all right, Christopher.
All right. Well, thank you to everybody for joining Fun of the Country Basement. This has been interesting, and I do kind of like the StreamYard thing. That's pretty cool. Thanks to Gage for joining in at the early part of the stream. If you want to go back and watch that. It sounds like there's a lot of things coming up for this, and it's growing now that certain things are changing in the streaming market. I think we'll see this more and more. And I definitely want to keep trying it, at least for the next couple of weeks, and see what happens and see what kind of the new features are that come out. But we'll see. So thanks to both you guys, Glenn and Walter, for joining. Check out their channels, funcountrybasement.com. You can subscribe to them. They're also in the description. And that'll do it for this week. We will see you next week on the Fun King channel. See you, everyone.
everybody, print on.